Welcome to the very first episode of our podcast. I am Brody Foxworth, and I am joined today by my co-host Mandy Stevens. Today we are exploring a dish that has taken the world by storm, and yet many people know very little about its fascinating origins. We are talking about Korean fried chicken, the crispy, saucy, addictive phenomenon that has spread from Seoul to every major city on Earth.
I have been looking forward to this topic because Korean fried chicken is one of those foods that seems simple on the surface, but actually carries decades of culinary innovation and cultural history. Before we dive into the details, Brody, I want to ask you why this particular dish captured your attention as our first episode.
That is an excellent question, Mandy. I chose Korean fried chicken because it perfectly represents how a traditional cooking technique can evolve and become something entirely new through creativity and necessity. The double frying method that defines Korean fried chicken today was not invented by a celebrity chef or a restaurant chain trying to create the next trend. It emerged from practical experimentation by cooks who wanted to solve a specific problem, which was how to keep fried chicken crispy even after being coated in sauce.
The double fry technique is absolutely crucial to understanding what makes Korean fried chicken different from American Southern fried chicken or Japanese karaage. In the traditional Southern American style, chicken is dredged in seasoned flour and fried once at a consistent temperature until golden and cooked through. The result is delicious, but the coating softens almost immediately when sauce is applied, which is why buffalo wings are served with sauce on the side rather than being tossed in it.
Exactly right, Mandy. The Korean innovation was to establish a two-stage frying process that transforms the physics of the chicken's skin. The first fry happens at a lower temperature, around 325 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 8 to 10 minutes. This gentle cooking phase renders the fat from the skin and cooks the meat through without burning the exterior. The chicken is then removed from the oil and allowed to rest while the oil temperature is increased to 375 degrees. The second fry takes only 2 to 3 minutes, but at this higher temperature, something remarkable happens to the microstructure of the skin.
The high heat of the second fry drives out any remaining moisture and creates an almost glass-like shatter when you bite into it. This is where the culinary science becomes genuinely fascinating because the texture is not just crispy. It is practically architectural in its construction. The double-fried skin can withstand being tossed in sauce without becoming soggy for a surprisingly long time, which is exactly what made Korean fried chicken viable as a delivery food.
You have touched on something crucial there, Mandy. The delivery aspect is central to the Korean fried chicken story and explains why it became a national obsession in South Korea before spreading globally. Fried chicken first appeared in Korea in the 1970s when American military bases brought the concept to the country. However, the distinctly Korean version with its double fry technique emerged much later during the Asian financial crisis of the late 1990s. Economic hardship actually fueled innovation because many office workers who lost their jobs opened small chicken restaurants as a way to survive. These entrepreneurs refined the double frying method and paired it with bold new sauces that distinguished their offerings from both American fast food and traditional Korean cuisine.
The sauce innovations are where Korean fried chicken truly distinguishes itself from any other fried chicken tradition in the world. The two most iconic styles are yangnyeom chicken, which is the sticky sweet and spicy red-glazed version that most people picture when they think of Korean fried chicken, and dakgangjeong, which is a slightly different preparation that uses whole chicken pieces rather than wings and often features a soy garlic glaze rather than the red chili-based yangnyeom coating.
Both sauces represent a fusion of Korean flavor principles with the practical demands of fried chicken as a social food meant to be eaten with beer. The yangnyeom sauce combines gochujang, the fermented Korean chili paste, with rice syrup for sweetness, garlic, ginger, and sometimes a touch of soy sauce. This creates a complex flavor profile that hits sweet, spicy, savory, and slightly tangy notes simultaneously. The sauce is never simply poured over the chicken, but is instead tossed with it in a large bowl immediately after the second fry, while everything is still screaming hot.
That tossing technique is another critical detail that sets Korean fried chicken apart from other sauce chicken preparations. When the sauce meets the still hot chicken, some of the moisture actually evaporates on contact with the superheated crispy coating. This means the sauce thickens and clings rather than soaking in, which is how the chicken maintains that signature crunch through the entire eating experience. The slight glaze that forms as the sauce cools creates a candy-like exterior shell that shatters cleanly when bitten.
The beverage pairing culture around Korean fried chicken deserves mention because it has become a specific social institution known as chimaek. The word chimaek is a portmanteau combining chicken and mikju, which is the Korean word for beer. In South Korea, going out for chimaek is now as common as Americans going out for pizza and beer or British pub culture around fish and chips. Korean drama television shows have massively amplified this culture by frequently showing characters sharing chimaek during emotional or celebratory moments.
The global expansion of Korean fried chicken began in earnest during the 2000s, with chains like Bonchon and Kaekjeon opening locations in the United States and other countries. Bonchon, in particular, deserves credit for introducing the double fry method to international audiences, with their founder developing proprietary sauces using ingredients like deseojang garlic from the Yupo wetlands and Korean solar sea salt from Jeolla province. These specific ingredient choices demonstrate how Korean fried chicken remains connected to its culinary heritage, even as it becomes a global fast casual phenomenon.
The success of these chains created a ripple effect where independent Korean fried chicken shops began appearing in cities with significant Korean populations like Los Angeles, New York, and London. Today you can find Korean fried chicken restaurants in Dubai, Paris, Sao Paulo, and Jakarta, each adapting the concept to local tastes while generally maintaining the core technique. Some variations are worth noting because they show how the basic concept continues to evolve. Tikkudak combines the words for fried, grilled, and chicken in Korean. This preparation involves double frying the chicken and then finishing it over charcoal to add smoky depth, representing a fusion of modern technique with traditional Korean grilling culture.
Another fascinating evolution is the chicken and waffles crossover that some Korean American chefs have created, serving yangnyeom chicken on top of Belgian waffles with maple syrup. This sounds like culinary chaos, but actually works because the sweetness of the maple complements the gochujang heat, while the waffles provide a different kind of crunch than the chicken itself. For home cooks wanting to try Korean fried chicken, the process is entirely achievable with standard kitchen equipment, though it does require attention to detail.
The key is patience with both the temperature control and the resting periods between fries. The chicken must be completely dry before the first fry or the oil will splatter, and the coating will not adhere properly. After the first fry, the chicken needs to rest for at least 5 minutes to allow carryover cooking to finish the meat and to let the skin structure set up for the second fry. Skipping this rest period is the most common mistake home cooks make and results in chicken that is either undercooked or lacks the proper texture.
The sauce preparation is more forgiving and can be adjusted to personal taste preferences for sweetness versus heat. The essential components are gochujang, some form of sweetener, whether rice syrup, honey, or brown sugar, garlic, and a touch of vinegar for acidity. Some recipes add ketchup for depth and color, while others keep it strictly traditional with just the fermented chili base. The sauce should be prepared before you begin frying, so it is ready to toss immediately when the chicken comes out of the second fry.
As we conclude this episode, I want to emphasize that Korean fried chicken represents something larger than just a tasty dish. It shows how economic necessity, cultural adaptation, and technical innovation can combine to create something that resonates across language and border barriers. From its origins in American military influence, through its refinement during economic crisis to its current status as global comfort food, Korean fried chicken tells a story about human creativity under pressure.
I think that is the perfect note to end on, Brody. Korean fried chicken is not just food. It is evidence that some of the best culinary breakthroughs happen when cooks are forced to solve real problems with limited resources. The double fry method, the sauce balance, the culture of communal eating with beer, all emerged from practical constraints rather than theoretical planning. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of Korean fried chicken. We hope you learned something new and perhaps feel inspired to try making this remarkable dish yourself.
Thank you for listening to our first episode. My name is Brody Foxworth. I have been joined by Mandy Stevens, and we will see you next time.